Who is in a relationship? And who wants to be in a relationship? Who's happy, passionate, waking up early and excited every morning, ready, raring for the day, like a child? Who wants more of it? Awesome. Me too. So in ancient times, when people would choose partners, they would go and visit astrologists, they would visit priests, they would visit people with wisdom and knowledge who could help them connect with themselves, connect with their highest powers, their intentions. And what's really important when you first start looking for a partner, even if you're in a relationship, you need to take time for yourself. Men and women need to take alone time or time with their girlfriends or male friends and play with makeup for women, play with their sensuality, play with that divinity, expressing the goddess through dress, through play, through expression. And men as well, take the time to be powerful, to be solid, to roar, to scream, to really connect with an animal-like instinct. You need to know who you are in order to find somebody that you're going to connect well with. And what happens a lot of times in modern society, especially in New York, people are living together and just going on with their lives. They're going to work every day, they come home, they have the emotions of their boss or coworkers still lingering on them or the projects that they're doing, and they don't know how to shed that, and then they connect with a partner who's also going through similar stressors. And so taking a first half hour to really connect and feel, who am I? Where's my energy? And these practices that we just did, you can do them longer or for the same amount of time and just remember who you are. Because you need to develop yourself all the while that you're connecting with another, with an intimate partner. And then second, you start to connect with people. And there are 4 steps in ancient times in Tantric Relationships. Closer? Yes. So, yeah, there you go. I'm already dancing. So let's say that wherever you are, there are 100 potential partners for you, 100 people. And what's the first way that you find who you might want to connect with? What do people normally look for? You can throw out your answers if you like. How do you, what was that? Look? Yeah. The energy? The energy and looks. Both, right. Usually first it's instinct, it's looks, it's visual, it's energy, it's exactly who am I connecting with? And so from those 100 people, maybe there's 90 people that you feel attraction to, that there's some instinct. And if you don't have attraction when you first meet a person for an actual, like, fully expansive tantric relationship, nothing will ever work out. You need to be attracted. In our society, the mind usually comes in, well, I need somebody who's X, Y, or Z. They have to match my preferences, my diet, my tastes. They have to be getting along with my family. But we really need to be attracted to a person. It's kind of a no-brainer, but it doesn't always happen. And later on down the road, this is when the mind can come in and say, well, I should like this person. Really, this person's great for me. And you get into a battle. In harmonious relationships, when you're developing yourself and you really want to connect with a partner, you don't want to go down that path. You don't want to follow the mind. You want to follow your heart. You want to follow your passion. And so from those 90 people, you'll understand from learning more and more about who you are, what type am I? Am I emotional? Am I physical? Am I intellectual? Do I like to move? Do I like to talk? Or do I like to connect through my emotions? How many people are aware of who they really are? You could say, I'm definitely kinesthetic, I'm definitely emotional, I'm definitely mental intellectual. And if you can, that's... No, but in the beginning, like, who you really are, you do definitely connect with one. There's one that you're going to always come back to, even though we're all made up of all three. Just like in Ayurveda, we have a mix of doshas, but there's something that predominates. And it's very helpful in a relationship, because if your reaction is to move or to get out or to play, and somebody else's reaction is to talk or philosophize, you can definitely find a balance. But at times, if it's not balanced enough, that will create tension, and it won't create the most harmony that you could have. Kinesthetic, intellectual, and emotional. So when you really connect with who you are, and then from these 90 people, maybe you get 75 people now that you're attracted to who are also attracted to you. And this creates more harmony. It's more of a harmonious pool that you can choose from. And you can start to feel it too. It's not like it has to be a science, or you have to say, okay, I have to know this person, I have to see them in every situation. You start to feel its awareness, its consciousness, its tantra, its expansion. And third, next, is temperament. And when you start to learn about temperament, sanguine, melancholy, going back to those, when you start to connect on temperament, you connect with a lot of various aspects of who you are and who your partner is and how they react in certain situations. There's a lot of focus on temperament in alternative schools for children, because they find that it really helps to know a temperament of a person you're relating to, and also know your own temperament, because it tells you how you react in situations, what you choose, what you like, what you have a preference for. And once you know what kind of blend am I, what predominates me, and you also start to see, you start to recognize in other people, who are they? And if you can get along, maybe you have higher energy naturally and they have a lower energy, or vice versa. And you won't always connect. So you need to know this. And you need to know either how to work with this energy, or that maybe the relationship is better served in creative or business purposes rather than an intimate tantric partner. And then next is knowing the astrological type. Knowing your astrological type, knowing your horoscope, connecting with the cosmos, because we are we play very, very much with the energies that we don't often feel living in New York City, but they affect us. And right when we're born, we're given a specific map in our body that connects with the stars. And knowing which planets make you up and which planets you're playing with every day helps you to know also who you're going to connect well with. If you're very fiery, or you like action, and you're with somebody who's has a lower energy or likes to be more sensual and soft and gentle, again, you'll find problems. And so you need to choose the right path as a partner. In ancient times, people would go to the temples, they would learn about their horoscope, learn about the horoscope of their partners. And they would also base their connections with their partners off of their horoscope. They would find the right time to connect, find the right time to be together intimately, when the stars really align for them, when it's best to plan a child. Cleopatra did this with her partner, and they had a strong child. But nowadays more instinctual or more emotional or more hormonal. And while this is great, it can go to the next level. And when you take it to the next level, you also get higher results. Because it happens that if you connect when the stars aren't aligned, you can have an argument or many arguments weeks later, months later, and it will continue until you know how to undo that energy that was created. You might feel frustration towards your partner. You just wake up and you feel frustrated, either with yourself or with your partner. Things just aren't right. And you just go on because that's what we do. We have to go on. If you know that it happened because of a misalignment in the energies, you can start to undo that connection. Just the awareness can take away tension and frustration. And in this way, you might never experience arguments again. If you're really connecting to who you are and who your partner is, and you're understanding and you're helping each other to grow every moment, it's always raising the energy, expanding it, expanding your consciousness. And lastly, the ideology that people have. If you believe certain things about relationships or who people are, and your partner or potential partner believes something else, it won't work. You can't change other people. They might change for you, and they might open up to their higher self, but they can't change who they are intrinsically. And a lot of times we hope or think that people will change, that we can change, that we will deal with it, that we should deal with it, that this is the best we can get. And a lot of times there's room for either improvement in a current relationship or happier partners, healthier relationships. And once you incorporate all this knowledge and you start to really connect with people on these deeper levels, aside from the day-to-day work that you're doing and feelings that you have, really start opening up conversation, opening up the emotions, getting rid of things that block the relationship, getting rid of things that don't serve you or your partner. Then you can go further, faster. You can be happier, more harmonious, faster and better. And you don't want to stay down. You don't want to stay in murkier areas. You always want to raise the energy. Does that all make sense so far? Do you have any questions? Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to know, because you talked about how the first one, I wasn't clear on, you were talking about certain, topics. So which was the first one you started with?
The first one, the type or?
Yeah, whatever. There were like different...
Attraction, type, yeah.
Attraction, all right.
And the attraction, that's the instinctual. What's that? Oh, so 90, 75. Each time it gets a little bit lower. And then when you get to your, once you go through all of these levels, you have a smaller and smaller pool to pick from. But it's good because these people, you feel more harmonious with them. You feel more connected with them.
I was trying to...
do you want to write them down?
Yeah.
So there's the attraction is first, that it's animal instincts. And then type, which is emotional, intellectual, kinesthetic. And then temperament. And then astrological horoscope and astrological type. And the type, this is really stuff that can go on forever. This is where I might go on forever, but I want to say other things. So the astrological type, everybody has a specific type that they are, whether they project more of a moon or the sun or a specific planet. And a lot of times people are two. They're not one pure astrological type. A lot of times people have two qualities. But these qualities really shape who we are and what we're doing in the world. And that's really, really important because you want to be aligned with your partner. You don't always want to live or be near your partner, but you want to be going in a similar direction, at least for the time when you're together, so you really can complement each other. And then last is ideology, and how you see yourself, how you see the world, and how you see relationships, what you want out of relationships. And so at that point, you might have one partner out of that group of 100, or you might have more. And in ancient wisdom, what it tells us is that based on how much power and drive and motivation people have, this is how many partners a person connects with. If you're all over the world, if you have tons of power, you will normally have more than one partner. And less power, one partner, less partners. And you can always choose, you can change this fatedness, this destiny, but the power that you come with, you need to always be using and incorporating into your relationships. And this creates more harmony. This is when you really can exchange all of the energy that you have and all of the energy that a partner brings, or partners. And when you do tantric practices, we have many practices that aren't actually sexual in nature, but are very sensual. And it's all about exchanging the energy through color, through sound, through breath. Everything at the same time, through movement. Did you have a question?
Practices that help with parenting. So I felt like I was really in tune when it was just me and my partner, and I knew when to be silent for 2 weeks and go into those kinds of things. It was great.
Right.
And now that there's 4 people, it's very intense. I don't know how to turn off from this person and start working with this little person and moving to this and keep my balance, because it's like a hurricane all the time.
Definitely. There's a lot that you can do.
It's so much to serve the little ones and
And first, of course, connecting with yourself, your personal power, raising your energy and your power and your protection. So there's a lot of talk and energy work about protecting your aura. There are very, very powerful practices. If you YouTube Aharada, it's like this yoga martial arts practice that we have, and it's very fiery. It doesn't take a lot of energy to do it, but it gives you a lot of strength, a lot of protection. So when you're also learning, who are my children, who am I, who's my partner, how do we all relate here? Because that gives you more of an understanding. And then the best one that I would say, when you're doing all these other practices, learning more knowledge, is spiritual theater. Because everything then becomes a timeout. We're playing a game here. I'm taking on a different role, you're taking a different role, and we're going to switch up the energy. And you can do this with children who are very, very small, or children who are grown and their husbands. Spiritual theater is really, really helpful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I just wanted to say something about the practice that we all did in the beginning. So stand up one more time. And usually to close some practices to cleanse your energy, just sweep your arms up with an inhale, 2 hands. I'm doing one because I have the microphone. And then push your breath out, making your mouth close very small. So you're going to cleanse your lungs, cleanse your emotional center, because that's this energy body in front of you. And again, 7 out breaths. And in one more time. Relationships move on all levels of chakras. This particular practice we did in the beginning is based on the first 6 chakras and then the meditative breath. When you understand relationships from the 7 chakras, you find where unconscious and conscious attacks that you dish out and that people dish towards you, whether it's intimate partners or people in daily lives, cars driving by, loud sounds, they all affect different chakras, and we get blown out in an instant. All it takes is one loud noise or one look that we think is mean, and it blows out a different center. And a lot of times we don't know how to harness that energy, how to bring more energy in when we're tired and we just want to fall flat on the ground and say, I'm tired, just need to go to bed. And we also don't know how to not then unconsciously attack ourselves or other people. And so when you move through these 7 chakras in that way that I was speaking, solid like a mountain, calm power, sensuality, grounded passion, the movements of the hips, of the wrists, the fiery action, the love, openness, expansion like a bird, the creativity, again, like a bird, but inspirational, like a child, new movements, and then directed, so every moment has purpose, and then meditation. You start to balance your body and come back to who you really are, so that when you connect with other people, you're always connecting from a place of power, whether it's power for the men or power for the women. So take that stance again, because when you do have this power in you, you don't get blown out. Your relationship never turns into an argument. You always know what you can do to find power, to find strength, to find happiness. So if you have a partner here, if you don't connect with somebody, choose somebody new just for fun if you want, and just look at them from your place of power, taking that first stance again. And the power here, find somebody, look at them in the eyes, connect with them. And take this stance. This one is for Manipura. So you put your hands here and your arms next to your waist. And you can make some fists. And then you feel roar like your power. You can really protect and provide for your woman here. The masculine energy provides for the feminine energy, irregardless of the gender on the outside. So someone choose masculine energy and someone choose feminine energy. And then men, you ground into that power. And then women, also taking that powerful stance, because we need to also be like Cleopatra, very sensual and vibrant, but also powerful, ready to rule when we need to, ready to get what we need. And the woman's energy, the feminine energy, is up, inspirational, motivational, loving, strong. And the masculine energy is powerful, grounded, solid, stable. When relationships lack power, right here when relationships come into the Manipura, this is where a lot of crazy arguments happen. Don't even know why they erupt. It's the smallest thing can set a person off. It's a lack of power, and it's a lack of connected power. So just taking this stance empowers you, and it transmits an energy of empowerment to the other person. And when you have this, arguments dissolve. And the other place where they happen a lot is in the heart, because when a relationship reaches the level of the heart, this is where fear comes in. This is our deepest fears. And so you really need the solid, the earth connection, the calm power, that stability, and the passion, consciously flirting everything with consciousness, including choosing your partner. Thank you so much for being here and participating in all of the exercises and listening and asking questions.
Is there a question?
I said, you said we have exercises, so I didn't know if you were part of something, institute, Arts Academy.
And we're based in Russia. We have, we're just building here in America, but we have bases in schools for children, for women, for men, and for families, for artists, in about 11 other countries with thousands of people. We also have like CDs produced and all kinds of artistic things.
So do you do any ongoing classes in New York City?
We do, yeah. I'm here and another teacher is here. I'm leaving for Salt Lake City, but I live here, so I'll be back in 2 weeks. And then we also have some classes tomorrow, one on Tantra. I can give you information if you come up to me. And then we also have a Grand Canyon retreat from Tuesday through Sunday, which is all about finding your purpose, living your passion, and it teaches you so much about astrology. So it's going to be wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Universe Synergy, I can spell it. It's UNIVERSYNERGYARTS. Is it slow enough or no? It's Universe Synergy, but there's not a second S and there's not an E in between. So Universe Synergy Arts.org. And then the women's school, we're also building our website, is Cleopatra, CLEOPATRA -arts.org. I have cards, yes. Universe Synergy. Yeah, if you come up to me, I'll give you one and give you information. Thank you so much again.
Thank you so much.